This episode of Advantage After Hours is brought to you by Advantage Trailer, your one-stop trailer shop.
All right, welcome to Advantage After Hours, episode 6. Today, Zach isn't with us, but we have myself, Jim, Matt, and a special guest today, Nate from the band The Empty Pockets.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? Nice to be here.
Yeah.
You guys look great, adorned in your empty pockets.
Yes, excited.
I wish I had an Advantage Trailer shirt that I could be wearing.
Yes.
Hint,
Yes.
Advantage Trailer, give me a shirt.
Hint, I'll get you
We
one.
got you.
Oh, I'm going to have a shirt. I
Yes,
could have
you
had it
are.
for the shoot.
Yeah.
Why wasn't I thinking this?
I don't know.
Oh.
I should have been on my game.
You guys look great. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks for
Episode
coming.
6.
Yeah.
How's it been going so far?
Really well.
Great.
Yeah, that's
Had a
good.
good time with this.
Yeah.
No one's been poisoned.
No.
Nothing's been set on fire.
No.
Great. Perfect.
Yeah,
So this is
and,
the first time for both.
Yeah,
Guys,
sometimes-
we are going to set some stuff on fire as we poison people tonight.
That's right.
Yeah, sometimes we get calls from customers and they're like, hey, I
Customers?
saw your video. I want a trailer.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, right.
so-
Yeah.
All right,
Worked
cool.
out.
Well, you definitely should come get a trailer. Come get a trailer.
Come get a trailer.
Yeah. So, first of all, before we get into what we're tasting, tell
Yeah.
us about The Empty Pockets. You know, who are you guys? All that kind of stuff.
Oh, man. The Empty Pockets is a blues rock band out of Chicago. We've been a band now for almost 20 years. We've got 2 #1 Billboard blues albums. Thank you, Jim. That's very kind. And we continue to rock out and tour around the country and the world. We have our own original music that we push. We back up other legacy artists like Al Stewart and Simon Kirke from Bad Company, Kenny Loggins, Richie Furay of Poco, and
Wow.
and the late who wrote Dreamweaver? I'm looking right at his face. Gary Wright.
Yeah.
The late Gary Wright. Sorry, Gary, I forgot your name for a second because I've had a little bit of bourbon. But I didn't forget your face, buddy.
That's right.
So we were Gary Wright's band for a while, which
Wow.
was crazy. Yeah, I loved playing Dreamweaver.
Phenomenal.
It was really cool. And so we're professional musicians.
Good.
We're working all over the place. We're keeping our butts in gear, and we're hoping to entertain the crowds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if someone would like to give us $1 million, that's cool too.
Yeah. Maybe a couple likes even.
Sure,
You know,
well, throw
make
some likes,
you
throw some
know.
subscribes, smash that subscribe button.
That's right.
Is that what we're saying these days? Is that what the kids are saying?
Always.
Yeah.
Why not? Can't hurt.
You know, I
No,
don't know.
right. Very good at this
It's
essay.
great.
Great.
And what do you play?
Oh, I play the bass. Indeed. You may see a video of me playing bass before or after this. Who knows how we're going to cut
You
it
don't
in.
know.
Maybe I'll revoke permission to air it at all.
Depends on the whiskey.
yeah, we'll see. But we're a quartet. We've got a drummer, Adam. I play bass. Our guitar player, Josh, and our keyboard player, Erica. And all 4 of us sing and write, and got a recording studio that we work out of, and we are indie to the max, man. We're our
Excellent.
own record label. We're our own distribution company. We handle all of the merch.
Wow.
When it gets shipped out. We do it all. And as you guys know, we do a lot of trailering, and so
Yeah.
we end up seeing you guys once or 2 or 3 times a year. Because man, you just put some miles on a trailer, and all of a sudden it's time. You need new tires? Well, sure. Come see the boys at Advantage. They'll put new tires on it.
That's
Need
right.
bearings repacked? They're going to do that for you too. Well, leaf springs? They carry them.
All of
You're in
them.
good hands.
Yeah. Thank you. We appreciate
Absolutely.
that.
You're so
Absolutely.
welcome.
You've been a loyal customer for 15 years, I
It's
believe.
because you guys
so-
are great. Yeah, I think we bought our 4th trailer
Yeah,
from you guys.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
Last year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
last
yeah,
year.
yeah.
Right before your tour.
Yes.
Thank
Well,
you.
yeah, we needed it
Yeah.
real bad because the last one got taken.
Yeah.
Somebody decided to lift that. So
Yes, no stealing.
yeah.
Did it have gear in it at the time?
It did.
It did.
Yeah, which is the worst. I think they took it. There was construction going on at the building next door, and I think they thought it was all construction gear and like
wow.
tools and stuff. Because no one's really messed with our trailers there before.
Yeah.
We've been there for almost 15 years. And they ganked it, and like, what are you going to do with an old keyboard? What are you
Yeah,
going to do with this
right.
beat up guitar amp? You know, the worst was that I think there was like $35,000 worth of
Ah,
merch. in
yeah.
there. It's, hopefully that didn't just get dumped somewhere and someone like
Right.
shipped it to Uzbekistan where now there's a band playing the Empty Pockets music and just making bank selling merch.
You're gonna see T-shirts all over.
Yeah, I mean that's great. Wait a minute, where'd you get that one? We don't print that one anymore.
Where do you think we got these?
Yeah. It comes out now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, well played.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice. All right. Well, before we get into to more talking about the band, let's talk about what we're drinking.
Yeah,
today.
let's talk
So,
about it.
We have the brand new bourbon from Fierce Whiskers Distillery. They're down in Austin, Texas. I was actually down in Austin last week for a trade show and visited Fierce Whiskers and got to taste this.
Let's get a shot for the camera. Huh?
Yeah, there you go.
You can really get it in there. You got Fierce Whiskers? Look at that. Look at that. That's a beautiful bottle.
It
is.
They just launched their very first bourbon on May 18th, so like 2 weeks ago, basically.
Wow.
The really cool thing is they opened in September of 2020, so right during COVID, right? And they just started distilling product and putting it in a rick house, but they didn't actually sell any bottles for the first couple of years. And then they decided to start doing some tastings, and now, almost 4 years later, they decided to finally release their first bottle, their first batch, and that's what this is. So this is batch number 1 of their bourbon. So it's almost It's almost 4 years old. It's 3 years, 8 months, but aged in a Texas rick house with that heat. That actually means it's comparatively it's more than 4 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
Interesting. Oh,
Yes.
so the heat.
accelerates the
Yeah.
process.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's delicious.
So see what we taste here. Wow.
You okay, buddy?
Oh yeah. I took a big swing of that one.
Yeah. It's that good. Drink it big.
I mean, it really is.
It is.
I wanted
phenomenal.
so much of it.
It's very grain forward.
I agree.
You can really taste the grain in it, which reminds me of like a Journeyman in Michigan. Their stuff is very grain forward.
Okay. I would agree with that. I'm getting like a dried fruit, like a fig or something in there. I think.
Interesting.
Wow. See, I get a nice sweet note.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the buttery, the nice smooth.
Okay.
I like it.
Definitely does have a buttery mouthfeel.
Yep.
The first thing that slapped me in the mouth was like a licorice
Oh,
taste
good
that kind
call.
of ran through it.
It's right on here.
And
Good call.
it's really good, but there's something. It's like oak or something. Do you know what kind of barrels they were aged in?
Yeah, they're white
an
oak
oak barrel?
barrels, American white oak.
All right. Well, there
I
you
feel
go.
like you can really taste the oak.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing with Texas whiskey is, the heat accelerates that maturation process because, if it's at, Kentucky where it's more of a moderate climate and there's a lot more heat cooling, and the bourbon's going in and out of the barrel a lot more. Whereas in Texas, when it's just really hot, it's going deeper into the barrel faster.
Oh.
And so you get a lot more of those oak notes, and that's why it
Nice.
kind
Makes
of
sense.
So it really
matures
helps
a
with
lot
the,
faster.
the flavor profile really accelerates in there, huh? It's really good.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, I mean, this is probably one of the better ones we've tasted.
Oh.
It is really good.
Yeah.
I agree. And it's for, what would you say, 98 proof? Is that what
Yeah,
you
it's
said?
98 proof. It's a 70% corn, 20% rye, and 10% malted barley,
Oh.
which is interestingly the exact same mash bill as that few Alice in Chains one that we tasted
Oh,
last
okay.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same mash bill, but that one was distilled by Few and finished in tequila barrels.
Right.
This one is all Texas grains. Fierce Whiskers is they call it a grain to glass distillery, so it's all they do everything there. They source their grains from Texas farmers,
Really?
distill
That's
it there,
That is
age
cool.
it there, bottle it there, and then after the grain is used, it's then reused by Texas farmers as livestock feed.
Nice.
So
Wow.
I'll tell you what, those boys in Texas know how to do it.
Resourceful.
They make a really good. This is really good.
Certainly a great taste of Texas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How about it?
Yeah.
So Nate, how'd you first get into music?
Oh man. There was always music around. My father was a musician. He played, still plays trumpet, trombone, French horn.
Wow.
Basically anything with a cup mouthpiece.
Okay.
He'll get around. And there was never any hesitation from my folks about me grabbing instruments or playing anything. Like we always there was a piano around the house, and they were just like, yeah, go whatever,
All
it's
right.
cool. And so like being raised in that environment where I could just do it, I kind of just did it, and
Nice.
it eventually came to, like, as I became an early tween, I like discovered the music that wasn't my parents.
Okay.
And was like, oh yeah, cool, this is where I want, and became a voracious listener.
All right.
My dad, in a very square move that turned out to be super profitable for me, my dad got me a tape deck with a turntable on the top, and man, did I really want a CD player. And so I was kind of disappointed, but it was also when vinyl was getting really cheap, so you could go to a garage sale and buy somebody's vinyl for $0.25 because they
Nice.
just wanted it out of their house.
Yeah.
So, man, did I start to develop
Good for you.
a real vinyl fetish, and not in that way. Well, kind of. Call me, ladies. And so, through that, and through like being exposed through listening around the house, and my folks encouraged me to take lessons.
Great.
And, at maybe 16, 17, I was really enjoying it. And I was like, I think I can make a career out of this. And my folks were like, well, how about you go to school first, and then we'll figure it out. And I was like, okay, deal. And I went to school, and I did music school for quite a bit. And then I was like, man, this is not the path for me. It's a fine
Okay.
path for other people.
Right.
But like, they can't teach me the things that I need to learn, which you only learn on stage and just by
Right.
doing it.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, we gotta go do it. And then I found Josh. He and I actually came up together playing music. One of the places that we used to play was in his cousin's basement. His folks were absolute saints and didn't mind that we played until like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I don't know how they did it.
Good for them.
Because we played till super late most nights.
Yeah.
And they were really cool about it. And so there were a bunch of musicians that would just meet up and you'd play it because, like, they're not going to let you into the bar at 15 or 16, but you can go down to Mike Halligan's basement and drink a bunch of Coca-Cola and just fucking jam till 2 o'clock in the
Love
morning.
it.
Great. Cool. So that's what we did. That was
Good.
the crucible that formed us,
Way
as
to
it
go.
were. Yeah.
Who were some of your influences growing up?
Oh man, what a great question. I really liked, the aforementioned Blues Traveler. Really loved Blues Traveler. I really loved the Spin Doctors.
Yeah.
Was also into strange music like Ray Stevens. You ever heard
Sure,
of Ray
yeah, like
Stevens?
Ray
The
Stevens.
Streak and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Weird Al Yankovic,
Yeah.
I think, might be like my number one
Nice. Up there.
artist.
Love that Amish Paradise.
Yeah, I owned one of the few albums of his that I owned as a kid.
Mhm.
Bad Hair Day.
Yeah.
Some early blues stuff. Like I'm really into Muddy Waters and Johnny Hooker and oh geez, names are escaping me because this bourbon's great. I'm gonna have another drink.
Any specific bass players that you kind of...
Ooh, James Jamerson is like one of my favorites. James Jamerson and Donald Duck Dunn, and they're both like guys that
Donald Duck
you
Dunn.
really wouldn't know unless you were listening and looking at the album.
Okay.
Because James Jamerson was like the house guy from Motown. It was
JMO? Is that?
J-Mo? No, James Jamerson.
Yeah, but isn't that what they call him?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they did call him J-Mo.
I don't know.
Was J-Mo a different guy?
I don't know.
We're
I'm gonna have to
find
look it
out.
up. We'll look up later, though. No,
We'll let you know.
No Googling on set. That's
Yeah.
cool. He was the guy for Motown and played a bunch of just crazy bass lines. And Donald Duck Dunn was the same guy, but for Stax.
Okay.
And he was with the Blues Brothers.
Yes, he was.
Which is why I because I bought the Blues Brothers album, Briefcase Full of Blues, and I think I must have looked at that album 2,000 times, and so I've got all of the guys memorized, and I
Yep.
knew who all they played with, and and so Donald Duck Dunn, definitely one of the bass players that I
Phenomenal.
looked up to.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's just cats out there that are blowing it away. Victor Wooten, Marcus Miller, fucking Brian Bromberg, Brian Bromberg, bass player. Esperanza Spalding.
Wow.
Man, there's just new cats every time, and they're all just monsters,
All
and it's
right.
all I can do just to keep up.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, cats like that. People I didn't even know the name of. Boz Burwell is the bass player for Bad Company. Had no idea who his name was until maybe 10 or 15 years ago when I
Okay.
started working professionally. But damn, did I listen to Bad Company's Bad Company
Right.
once a day for 4 years straight
Yeah,
or whatever.
Who didn't?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just hits from top to bottom, baby.
Right.
And so, like, there are guys that I picked up stuff from
Okay.
whose names I don't even know.
Right.
And definitely maybe even some stuff that, like, I don't even know that I took that from this cat or whatever, So, yeah,
Well, that's
I don't know, man.
fantastic.
Lots and lots.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
that's good.
That shows your love for music. That's for
I
sure.
definitely do love
You
it.
know,
Yeah.
and if I'm gonna go see people play music, I want to see people who love their music. So-
Well, let me tell you, we
you.
love our music. We are
So-
very passionate.
How'd you get from your friend's garage to the Empty Pockets?
Man, great question. So Josh was writing some songs one day, and we were down in Halligan's basement, bopping around and doing our thing. And he's like, "Hey, let me run these songs by you." And he plays them, and I was like, "Damn, these are pretty good. You wrote these?" And he's like, "Yeah." All right, cool. And at this time, I had already set my intention to become a professional, and I was like, I have to go out and work my nuts off. So I was in like 5 or 6 different bands, playing bass, singing, doing whatever, playing harmonica, whatever they would let me do. And I said to him, "Hey man, if you're ever interested in like doing something for real, because like I'm trying to do this for real. If you want to do this for real, come find me." And maybe like 8 months later, he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this for real."
right.
Great, okay, let's figure this out. And
That's
that was
great.
like 19 years ago, something like that. Yeah, and so we formed and started playing gigs and working, and he's the 3 core members of the band are Josh, Ari, and myself. We've been around for a long time, and of course Adam is no less core. He's just newer.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
He's a 25% songwriter,
Nice.
and like we all split songwriting.
That's great.
Just because that's how we like to do it.
Wow,
It
that's
feels the right way,
Right,
because
right.
everybody contributes their thing.
Yeah.
And Adam is no less contributory. He's just newer. He's the new kid in
The,
town.
the newbie, huh?
Yeah. She's newbie, and I think he's been
Yeah.
with us for 6 or 7 years.
Wow, look at
which
that.
is wild. So yeah, it was through Josh coming to me, and then through sheer force of will of both of us and then all 3 of us, and then later all 4 of us that have
That's
managed
great.
to keep this going. So yeah,
That's fantastic.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Um,
it's all right. It's weird. Yeah.
It
So-
seems like an exceptional amount of work, but at the same time, like a really good,
Yeah.
like the adventure has to be
Oh,
unbelievable.
adventure is there
Yeah.
everywhere if you
Yeah.
can find it.
Yeah.
And if you're one of those people that likes adventure, then like this is
Yeah.
a decent calling. Yeah, there's a lot of work.
I'm
I
sure.
mean, yeah, there's a lot of work everywhere, and like sometimes the work is dulled by the idea that like you get to go up on stage and play music.
Okay.
The fellow that we've worked with a lot, Al Stewart, we've been in his band now for 10 years, and he often says, I play music for free. You pay me to travel and come here and set up. And,
Huh.
and then
That's a
tear
great
down
way to
and
put
live,
it.
Right? And so we think
You
it's
know
pretty
what?
much the same thing.
That's
We'll
a-
play it for free, but listen, man, there's a bunch of shit that goes into
That's
it.
a
and
great
so
mentality.
That's what you're paying us for.
Right.
So it doesn't
Good.
bother me too much,
Right.
you know?
No, I think
It
it's
does get
fantastic.
old at 2 o'clock in the morning when you know you've got 3 more hours worth of work to do.
Yeah.
But like, well, shit. That happens once a week or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a regular thing. So like, I'll take it.
Ah.
It beats being at a desk. And
Lucky.
yeah, seriously, it beats being at a desk. The other thing that I could see doing would be being a farmer, but that was when I looked at doing it 25 years ago. It was going to cost me over $1 million just to start my own farm. And it was like, if I'm going to be broke, I don't want to be broke and $1 million.
You'd rather be broke
Oh,
with a
just let
couple
me be-
cents in
yeah,
your pocket.
right, just let me be regular broke.
Yeah.
I'll get 22 grand
Yeah.
in debt or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Not $1 million to start. Oh,
You're good with just empty pockets, not empty
yeah,
bank
right.
accounts.
Yeah, I don't need somebody's hand in it.
That's
to
right.
get it out.
Yeah,
you know?
I get it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, where did the name come from? How'd you guys?
So when we first started, we were a Buddy Holly and the Crickets tribute act. Not really. We learned a bunch of Buddy Holly and the Crickets tunes because there was a musical going on that Josh wanted to try out for, and so we were like, all right, yeah,
Oh, great.
we'll back you up for the rehearsals
Yeah.
or the tryouts, and then you go get the part and go work, and we'll do whatever. And we all three ended up getting hired to do the musical. And so for 260 performances or whatever, we were Buddy Holly and the
Really?
Crickets. Yeah, it was fun. It was a great time.
I think
it was
that's
so
amazing.
much fun. I played upright. I almost brought Jezebel, but like she's so big that like, and I'm driving a Honda Fit. I know I can put her in there, but like you can't see around her. It's bad news. And so Jezebel's my bass, not my wife, guys. Come on now. My wife is regular size. And so I would like throw the bass up in the air and do all sorts of stuff. Josh got like a crazy perm that like bleached out his skull. It was, and we were like Buddy Holly and the Crickets for 250 performances. And while we were doing that, you know, you got a lot of time on your hands at shows, so you'd set up and get ready to do something. In between, we'd play some songs that he was writing or whatever.
Okay.
And we were like, hey, let's come up with a band name, you know, blah, blah, blah. And Buddy Holly and the Crickets, we were like, we'll do Josh Solomon and the Empty Pockets, which then later just became Josh and the Empty Pockets. And then after Erica joined, which was maybe like a year later or whatever, we were like, should we really be Josh and the Empty Pockets, especially if we're going to force her to sing a bunch of stuff? Doesn't make any sense. Just drop that off. Now we're just the Empty Pockets. Easy peasy.
Great.
Dumb enough to print on a t-shirt and sell it to 3 guys. Perfect. Thumbs up.
Nice. Well, speaking of names, Fierce Whiskers,
Oof.
kind of an interesting name,
Great
right?
name.
So here's why. It says it on the back of their bottle.
Oh, I thought you were doing this from memory. You're reading it off the bottle? Justin, I'm so disappointed.
Next time.
So I was actually wondering it too when I was visiting, you know, when I visited last week. But so President Rutherford B. Hayes.
Oh, he's from Iowa. Or
In
Ohio, right?
1849, he visited Austin, and
1849.
he hated it. He said, Austin is an inconsolable village with large expectations, full of discharged rangers, costumes of every variety, fierce whiskers, gaming, and drinking very abounding in all quarters.
Sounds great, honestly.
So
yeah,
It kind of sounds like a good time, doesn't
yeah,
it?
when these guys started their distillery, we're like,
Fierce
they're
Whiskers.
Like, let's name it that.
It's perfect.
That is great.
Well, let's just say Rutherford B. Hayes, absolute known prolific racist. So we don't have to listen to anything that he has
No,
to say.
exactly.
But I feel like he did describe Austin pretty
It
accurately.
was fairly accurate,
Yeah.
and you know what? People still love it that way. So I mean, heck, man,
It's true.
you know,
That's
it's a
true.
thriving metropolis now.
it really is.
And Texas barbecue is phenomenal.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, this is so far like this is really impressive. This is really good.
Yes, this is
So
very
we're
tasty.
definitely going to have to get another bottle.
Yeah, so it's cool when you visit their distillery. It's in South Austin. They have a huge all-black rick house. It's the very first rick house built from the ground up in the state of Texas.
Are
Wow.
you saying Rick House with
Yeah,
an
Rick.
R instead
Yeah.
of Brick House?
Yeah, rick house. That's what it's called when you age
Yeah.
the building that ages the barrels.
It's called a Rick House.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were saying Brick House.
It's a brick.
Yeah, rick house.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like the Commodores, you know.
So they paint, you know, it's painted black, so it attracts the sun.
Okay.
So it gets heat. I got to go in. The guy, Colin at this distillery, was really, really nice. Gave me a nice tour.
That's cool.
Colin, thank you.
Um,
Appreciate it.
Super hot. It was,
Was
like
it- yeah, do you know-
outside?
how hot was it?
The weather was like 111 real feel, and then you go in the rick house and it's just super hot. But that helps age the barrels. It's not temperature controlled, except they have some openings where the wind can come through, but that's it. There's no AC or anything in there.
Wow. Dang.
Yeah, it's got to get toasty in
It's
there.
super
huh?
hot. We didn't spend much time in there.
No, that's like a sauna.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's a new
But-
weight loss program right there.
But it's a 5-story rick house.
Wow,
said
5
it-
stories.
It can hold 5,400 barrels. It's not full yet,
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
but that comes out.
5,400 barrels.
Is it a single like floor that's 5 stories tall and they stack the barrels up,
Nope.
or is it multiple floors?
5 different floors.
It's
Wow.
5 different floors.
And then they stack them, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 barrels high.
Really?
Maybe 5, I don't know
Okay.
exactly.
wow.
Man.
But that equates to almost 1 million bottles of bourbon that can be aged in there at any given time.
Jeez.
Okay.
A million bottles almost.
It is, that's impressive that
That-
4 years got a bourbon to be this. I mean,
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That
Oh,
is-
that's great.
Can't believe we got batch number 1 too.
Yeah,
That's
batch
super
number
cool.
1.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure I get a shot of that before I leave.
For sure.
Yeah,
I
very
like
cool.
It's really good. I get like almost some like gingerbread or something on it.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's where I was getting that dried fruit-ish type flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, try it up again there.
Yeah.
And it's a cool. Their distillery too. They have a nice tasting room, like an indoor tasting room, which is cool, with a bar and everything. And then they have outdoor seating, like right along the outside of their distillery, with these big fans that just blow mist to
Nice.
you, which is nice. I sat out there for like 2 hours just drinking bourbon because it was 111 degrees, but you have that mist blowing on you and it feels good.
Hell yeah.
And then they also have all these outdoor seating, like Adirondack chairs underneath shade trees
Really?
and stuff.
Very
They have a
nice.
bunch of food trucks, including one that was called Chicago Dogs.
Nice.
So
Very
she
nice.
sold all Chicago
Style hot
stuff.
dogs?
So I
Nice.
didn't get any because I was there to eat,
No.
Austin food.
Yeah.
Don't go elsewhere to eat
Yeah,
Chicago
right.
food when you're in Chicago.
Well,
That's
oh,
ridiculous.
that's great.
Yeah, but it was a cool place.
Yeah, Austin is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. Nate, what
Jim.
you got any tour dates coming up, dude? What
Oh,
you got?
man.
Anything in Illinois coming up?
I know we're doing a big festival here in Skokie coming up. It's one of the first outdoor festivals to come to Skokie at all, and
Okay.
it is. It will be June 21st.
All right.
Nice.
And then the day before we'll be in Sherman, Texas. So
Okay.
don't look for us there, but do look for us. Actually, you can come to Sherman, Texas.
Yeah.
That's will be the
If you
hot
like to
summer
travel
nights.
for a great band,
That's true.
Sherman, Texas.
And then the day after, we will be in Cleveland.
All right.
Wow.
To
Cleveland.
go do the anthem at the
Ohio.
Guardians.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And speaking of that, you guys did the anthem at the
At the Dodgers game,
Yeah.
which was super cool.
I bet it was.
It was wild. Yeah. It is a huge organization with a lot of people operating, and the fact that those guys can get anything done is insane.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many moving parts. And when we got there, there was a Little League parade going on
Okay.
around the inside and the outside of the stadium, which was really cute. It's cool that the Little Leaguers got a chance to go. But they were trying to get us onto the field. And they were like, listen, this goes on for another 22 minutes or whatever. So just sit back here, do the thing. And as they moved past, that was already time to start like another group coming onto the field to do like a dance thing.
Okay.
And it was just the insane amount of
Yeah.
synchronicity that has to happen to make anything happen there is crazy. The Dodgers were super nice. And we got to stay till like the 5th or 6th inning, which was great. So
That's
I'm into that.
fantastic.
Yeah, we saw Shohei hit a home run,
All right.
which was great. And then we were like, all right, off we go to the gig. So what a great way to spend a day.
What a
you know?
day.
Yeah, it was wonderful. You know, they were very kind to us.
Good.
And we look forward to hopefully going back.
Well, great.
Yeah.
Have you
cool.
done that at any other ballparks before?
No, that was the first time that we've done that, but we're now doing like the Sox and the Guardians as well.
That's way to go.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
really exciting. That's
and
cool.
Trying to build up for more because, like,
Yeah.
hey, if we're gonna go see a ball stadium, why
Yeah.
not like that way?
Right.
Gotta
That's
get
the best way to
Cubs.
do it.
Fuck yeah.
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 Cool.
Would love to get a call from the Cubs organization.
We'll send this video out.
There you
We
go.
want these guys opening up. Let's go.
Yeah, so it's a cool it's a cool little entryway,
Okay.
and it's also one of those things where all the teams do it differently, and so like you end up having to connect with them. There's not just like a central clearinghouse, just how I would think it would
Okay.
work. You get somebody who handles that thing and says we hire all the artists, and you go do that one or
And you
whatever.
handle that thing,
Yeah,
okay.
Each one of them does it their own way, and so we're figuring it out.
That was good.
It's cool. Yeah,
It was good.
Yeah. It was a good way to spend a wonderful day, and I didn't get too drunk, which was
Hey.
that was my goal. I was like, we can have, I will definitely have one beer because here we are.
Yeah,
But like,
you're in a
ooh,
baseball
I got,
stadium.
yeah, exactly. Why not? I had a beer and a Dodger dog.
Dodger dog.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had to have a Dodger dog. They're still reasonably priced too for as large as they were. I was like, I don't feel like
All
I'm
right.
getting killed here.
Well,
Okay,
good.
cool. So
Nice.
yeah, and then we went and played a show, and I was like, fuck, I was just at a baseball game. Oh, this is wild.
What a
Okay.
day. Yeah,
what
it's
a
a
day.
wild day.
It was a great day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is a
Go
great
anthem and
day.
go play a show.
that's right. It was so fun.
With a beer and a Dodger dog.
Oof,
Yeah,
right
can't
in my
beat it.
belly. It was amazing.
What's your favorite, city or venue that you've played in?
Man, that's a great question. There's a bunch of venues that I really love, and it's often for different things. Like, there's some venues that have really good food, like the Coach House in California has like a steak that'll just knock your eyes off.
All right.
And you get access to it as an artist, which is, that's not usually what the Empty Pockets are eating out on the road. So anytime I can get a nice steak.
Yeah.
There's a place in Seattle called the Triple Door, where sometimes when you're backstage, they have like a specific menu for you. The Triple Door lets you order off their very fancy menu.
Okay.
Their food is insanely good. So I always look forward to going there. There's food places, and then there's places where you're like, wow, this venue's really beautiful. The Fox Theater is gorgeous. The Chicago Theater is gorgeous. The Rialto is gorgeous. Man, we just did the Sony Music Hall in New York. That was like an old ballroom from like the 1930s.
Wow.
And they managed to keep a bunch of the stuff from the 1930s. So everything was very Art Deco.
Nice.
And it was super cool
Yeah.
in there. And I was like, this is a cool room. And then there's places that you go where you're like, the staff here is just the best.
Okay.
And so there's a place that we go to, the Birchmere. I was like, I'm trying to remember the name of it. The Birchmere. Everybody that works there is just the greatest. And it's super cool in the ways in which we tour and the places that we hit. We're not hitting any scrub crews. Like,
Nice.
all of these guys are top-notch cats.
Right.
You walk into a place, they help you out, we get a show done, and then we're out of their hair, and like, they're what I call proper villains.
Okay.
Working with proper villains makes for, that's a good day right
Yeah,
there. You work with
alright.
proper villains. And
For
so,
a
like,
musician, that makes it smooth.
oh, it's so
huh?
easy.
Okay.
We don't have to fuck around. Like,
Yeah.
you know your job, I know my job. We
We
can
get it done.
We'll link the two
Alright.
things together, and then we'll
Be
make.
teammates for a couple
Let's
hours.
be teammates. And and part of that is going with the idea that there are teammates and not like people there to serve us.
Right.
Which is not true. They're there to help us.
Yes.
And because they're our teammates. And I think because we as the Empty Pockets go in with that, we end up with like that sort of reciprocated from the crew.
Right.
Like we end up with, everybody's there to be a teammate.
That's a great mentality.
It
really
has
is.
served us very well,
Yeah.
and I just feel like it's the right way to be.
It is.
Yeah.
Being
I
a-
say kiss my feet.
yeah.
No, and you know what? I don't like those people
No.
in general. The people that think they're too big or too cool or whatever. Like,
Makes it tough. Being a good human isn't that hard,
Yeah, well,
but it seems almost impossible.
sometimes it really can be,
Yeah.
and I get it, and we all fail at being a good human occasionally, but like, you gotta try your
No,
best.
I
and
think it's great.
do what you can, and every one of us has done some sort of hard labor at one point or another,
Yep.
and none of us has forgotten about it.
Right.
So
Yep.
we're not so elevated that none of
Respect
us.
those who do.
Yeah,
You got
man.
it right.
Shit. All right.
Yeah.
You want to dig that ditch by hand? Okay.
Yeah.
Shit. Damn.
It's
cool.
amazing, but good. I'm glad you guys
Yeah.
get
We
different
get treated
venues,
very
different
well.
things. Good for you.
There are very few times that we roll into a venue and I'm like, man, this place. And usually we don't go back to those places,
Right.
Because it's kind of a top-down
Yeah,
thing.
sure.
And management will be kind of crummy, and then, but like most of the time,
Good.
everything's great.
Good.
Yeah.
On that same vein,
Yeah.
is there a venue that there's acoustically you like the best or something like that?
Yeah, let's see. Man, there are a couple of places that just sound super nice. I'm trying to think. They're usually for acoustically, it's the smaller places,
Yeah.
Right.
and they're custom built that way.
Okay.
There was a place we just played in Massachusetts, maybe it was called the Bombyx, Bombyx, and it used to be. It was a church that was a stop on the Underground Railroad
Oh,
in
wow,
like the
okay.
1800s. And so they preserved it and then turned it into a venue. And so it still has a lot of those church acoustics,
Okay.
and then they treated it a little bit to make it like
Yeah.
slightly more effective against rock music, instead of just a bunch of people singing. And man, that room sounds really
Good.
nice.
Okay.
Nice.
And usually it's that kind of stuff where you're like, oh, this room was designed for
Yeah.
with music in mind, instead of being like, this is the place where we will put music, and now
Yeah.
speakers go here,
Right.
Because then at that point, then it's up for your front of house guys, your sound engineers, to make it sound good, and they always do, but it's not the physical
Right.
place.
Yeah.
Nice,
Okay. So they made a place for musicians, and then they set it up for people to listen.
Yeah,
That's
I
great.
think so.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
strange.
fantastic.
Some of those turn out to be churches, and some of the worst ones that we've also played at have been churches.
Right.
Where it's like, oh no, we did some in the UK that were just. I think they were active churches, and they were like, we'll throw a rock concert here. It's going to be fun, right? Don't worry, right? And they load us in, and it's like, it's a fucking church. You go clap, and it goes,
Yeah.
all the way down. Oh, God.
That's gotta be tough.
We got a full drum kit. Like, this thing's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
And, some of them are like that. So what can you do? But thankfully, most of the venues that we play are either they're sonically treated rooms or they were built specifically for that and they sound good.
Good.
Right.
So every now and then you get a bar.
I think of like the Chicago venues, like the Metro, like they're old movie houses. And
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like that,
absolutely.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
anything. Generally, too, the older the building, the more thought out the space for music is.
All right.
And so like the theaters will sound really nice.
Yeah.
The Rialto sounds really great. The fucking Grand sounds really
Yeah.
great. Chicago Theater sounds really great, even though it's massive. It's
Right.
a barn.
Yeah.
So like part of that's the sound system, but part of it is that it was a space where they put thought into the acoustics.
Very nice.
Yeah, rather than just being like,
Yeah.
how many people can we cram in here?
Right.
And how much beer can we sell them?
Yeah.
Right.
Which, like, hey, you're gonna run a business that way. That's how you gotta do it, baby.
Right.
I get it. Yeah, I think that-
Interesting.
You mentioned the UK. You guys recorded your last album at Abbey Road Studios, right?
that's true. We did.
What was that experience like?
It was bananas. It was like it's like a Christmas for musicians.
Okay.
A bunch of the music that I had grown up on was recorded or mastered there, and it's like still like an active recording studio the whole time. It's the only recording studio I've ever been to that has a cafe and a gift shop. It was great because we were recording there. You get 10% off on the gift shop. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
baby, how about some gifts?
All right.
Hey, Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yeah.
We got some Abbey Road stuff.
Got 10% off.
Yeah, why not? The prices were super reasonable. I was
Great.
shocked. I was like, yeah, okay. It was an amazing experience. We recorded in Studio 3, which is where they recorded Dark Side of the Moon and maybe it was Drive My Car. One of the Beatles tunes was recorded in there.
I mean-
Erica recorded on their pianos and organs, and in the corner of the piano and the organ, there was like a huge cigarette burn from where they would be
sure.
recording, and they just like put their
it
ciggy
down.
down and do the thing and then pick it back up. So we've,
How
everybody
amazing.
took
Yeah.
all sorts of pictures and we recorded. Yeah, man, I want to say like we nailed out 12 tracks or
Way to
something
go.
like there. It was
What an
crazy. It was
experience.
it was a wild experience, and we got to walk around. So after you're done tracking, then there's a bunch of other stuff that has to be done. So we still needed the space, but like my job's done. So like I went walking around and snuck into a recording session for one of the Star Wars video games.
All right.
They were doing all orchestral stuff,
Yeah.
and like I was peeking around, and one of the violinists was like. This shit, she's playing. I'm like, oh shit, okay. Just sneak back through. And because I wanted to see Studio 2 was the studio where the Beatles did most of their
Wow,
stuff. And
okay.
so we walked through Studio 2, we walked through
Awesome.
Studio 1. They just like kind of let you go as long as you're cleared to be there, I guess.
Okay.
You can't just book time, you have to be like vetted. And so we got vetted by Alan Parsons.
Wow.
Who like
Yeah.
emailed and was like, I like my friends James Pockets come in and record some things. And so he set us up, and Al and Peter White both came in and recorded some stuff. And so we get to say that we recorded our last album at Abbey Road, which was insane. And I think next time we go back to UK, we're going to do it again.
That is
'Cause
insane.
I think it was dirt. It wasn't dirt cheap, but it was what I would consider dirt cheap for Abbey Road. I think for 2 days, I think we paid like $2,200,
Wow.
which is get out of here.
Yeah.
$1,000
For
a day
that
Abbey
experiment,
Road?
yeah,
Get
that
outta
experience
here.
alone would be.
Get off furniture. Here, take my money.
I mean, you were in the
know?
same space as some of the greatest
For real.
recording artists in history.
For
That is
real.
phenomenal.
Yeah, we walked through the same halls, and
Right?
yeah, it was a cool space.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
good for
very
you.
magical. And so we got to spend some time there, and got my picture taken there, and they sent me a Christmas card.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Merry Christmas from everybody. Oh, this is nice. Oh, that was worth the price of admission alone.
Yeah, right alone. What an experience.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Good
so
for you guys.
We'll go back, I think, next year
Okay.
to the UK, so hopefully we'll be able to book some more time. That
All
would be
right.
sweet.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
good.
We'll see how it goes. I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tell you what, man. Been all over the world, baby.
Sure have. Yeah. It's been
fun.
crazy.
That's great.
Yeah.
Have there been, I guess, outside the U.S., cool venue, like great venues? That
Oh
you've played?
man, yeah. There were some super cool ones in the UK, and there were some literal churches that we played where it was like, oh, I don't know about this. The acoustics are going to be interesting. We played a rock club in the UK that I thought was pretty interesting, which like for the Al Stewart crowd, they're usually, how to put this nicely, they're usually in the hip replacement age range.
Sure, yeah.
And so, like, standing for 2.5 hours is not something you would expect. But man, all those Brits were ready to go.
They were
Clearly, they go
rocking,
see
huh?
rock concerts.
All
all the time
right.
there. We didn't. It wasn't with Al. It was with the Empty Pockets. We did a couple of gigs in Vietnam
Wow.
that were really wild. We did one that was like this dingy, smoky rock club in like up 3 or 4 flights in this back alley, and it was like everything you want, just like a dive rock club to be. And it was super cool. There was a local Vietnamese rock band that opened up for us, and that was hot. And then we did a club in District 3 of Ho Chi Minh City that was up on the 3rd floor, and it was owned by, the whole club was owned by a famous like husband and wife musician pair in Vietnam.
Okay.
And so they would like perform at their club every night. And so we played a set in between True's band, and then they did a set, we did a set, they did a set, and then True afterwards was also the owner of the club, and so was like, come on into the back, and opened up this like special bottle of Crown Royal that Crown Royal makes specifically for his club.
Wow.
And was like, all right, here we go, shots all around. Oh, that one's done, shots all around. This is insane. This is what being a rock star is like.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was cool. We played a airplane hangar in Tel Aviv. That was pretty insane. 1,500 Israeli people, just going bananas
All
for
right.
Year of the Cat. It was the strangest thing I've ever seen in my
Way to
life.
go.
It was crazy. And then we did I think it was a sukkot in, also in Israel. I'm trying to remember the name of the town, and I'm going to forget it. Sorry, guys. It's in here somewhere, but there's a bunch of bourbon in between it. So I'll remember on the way home. Like,
Yeah,
I'm going to text Justin and be like, "Get food!"
We'll edit the video later.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Put it in my lips.
We'll put it in.
Great. Perfect. You guys.
Yeah, we know
real
what we're
pros.
doing.
Real pros.
Yeah. That's why we get paid the big bucks. You know?
We've done a bunch of cruise ship gigs too, which are cool. Like, it's always, except Josh and Adam both get super seasick.
Oh, wow.
And so like it's no fun for them.
Mm-hmm.
They do a really good job of keeping it together. But there have been 1 or 2 times where we've been in the middle of sound check or whatever, and he's left the drums.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
oh, that poor guy.
That's
Okay.
a rough go.
Yeah, off he goes. He knows where the nearest bathroom is, or the nearest hat, whatever you can
Mhm.
get to, So yeah, we play in a bunch of
Nice.
really cool spots.
All right.
Yeah, and like even the places that could seem run of the mill, there's still something like really magical and fascinating about being in a space that's meant for performance when there's no performance going on.
Yeah.
It's kind of like dead, and it's either going to come alive or it's on it,
Okay.
it's on its afterlegs. And so I like walking into almost any spot where there's like a stage and like, there's some setup is about to happen and stuff. It feels electric.
Nice, okay.
It's full of possibility. And so I think that exists almost everywhere.
Great.
It could even be a hay wagon, which we've definitely done before too.
Or a trailer.
Or a trailer. Definitely done trailers too before.
That's right.
Absolutely. We'll do them again too.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah.
Man, well, that's great, man. You've been all over the world.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's a great time.
All right.
Yeah. But I know when I'm in the United States and I have to haul gear around, Advantage Trailer takes care of me. They really know how to repair. They'll sell you a new trailer, or they'll talk to you on the phone about whatever dumb stuff you have. You got questions about your trailer, they're going to answer them. You need parts, they carry them. You need something special, they're going to order it for you.
We do.
Get a hold of Advantage Trailer. They got a trailer for that.
Got a trailer for everything.
Cut.
All right, so this bourbon, it's
really good.
It's like $49.
What?
Would you buy it?
Whoa.
Yeah, I would buy
I would
it.
buy it for sure.
I would buy it.
Like
Yeah.
I said, I'm really impressed for aged 4 years. That's
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, this
Pretty
is
good.
on the list for sure.
Do they sell? Are they selling through a distributor? Or do they sell just out of their?
So, right now it's all sold in Texas.
Okay.
But you can order online. They'll deliver it, depending on what state you're in.
Nice.
Illinois is one of the states that you can
Nice.
ship it to, which is
Okay.
great.
Okay. I might be buying a bottle
Yeah,
of
look
this
at
for
this.
my
It's
wife.
really good.
Next year, so they just partnered with a new distributor. So next year they're going to start releasing it in more stores
Cool.
nationwide. So
Right on.
All right.
yeah, I think it's really good too.
It is really good.
$49 for a
Yeah.
That's
for a 98 proof bourbon.
that's a wild price point.
Yeah,
For
Yeah,
this
they're
bourbon.
gonna realize it's a $65 bottle.
For sure. Get in on it now for that $49 price point, because Jim's right. That price is going up.
It's
baby.
going up.
It's just going
It's
up.
too good not to.
Seriously.
Yeah.
No, that was very tasty. Thank you guys for having me.
Hey,
This was
man.
really wonderful.
Yeah,
I love
thanks for
drinking
coming.
bourbon with you guys.
Yeah,
Usually
we
when I'm
appreciate
here,
it.
I'm all greased up and
No,
talking about trailers, but this is wonderful.
it's good. We appreciate you coming. Really
That's
enjoyed
good.
it.
My
We
pleasure.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
We'll do it again.
Also, you guys look fabulous in these t-shirts.
I'll tell you
might I
what.
add.
The empty pockets. Facebook, Instagram, Twitters, whatever you got. TikToks,
Love
name
you.
it.
We're there. We're
They're
everywhere.
And you start your next tour in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and I think we start next week, actually.
All right.
Yep. Time to go kick the tires and light the fires.
All right.
Make sure everything's still rotating. Yep.
Good deal.
Make sure our trailer's still there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure if there's any maintenance needed or anything, just to give us a call.
Of course. You guys are my first call, first
Appreciate
of all. And I actually probably should talk to you about getting some shackles before I go out on the road.
We
so
can
I'll
do
be,
that.
I'll be calling you guys
Oh,
tomorrow.
great.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take some measurements and call you.
Excellent. Appreciate that.
Talk to those knuckleheads down in parts.
No, this has been fantastic.
Yeah,
we really
this is
appreciate
really
the time.
great. Absolutely.
Good.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thanks for joining us, Nate.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. All
See
right.
you out there.
See you next time.
Thank you.